Boy, oh boy, we secured the second seed in the NFC playoff race. A very dominant performance against the Carolina Panthers after a first quarter where we did not look good at all, only having 3 total yards of offense on one drive pretty much. But we definitely turned it on in the second half. But before I get into my reaction, I am Rami B. If you are new here, make sure you click the subscribe button down below. I post weekly Buccaneer reaction videos, and I'm now excited to post playoff reactions, hopefully for the next 4 weeks, for 4 games going into the Super Bowl and winning it. But before we get into it, we won 41-17 against the Carolina Panthers, which secured us for sure the 3rd seed, and we were waiting on the San Francisco 49ers to beat the LA Rams, which they did in overtime by a field goal after trailing 17-0 at one point. So they definitely helped us out and moved us into the 2nd seed, who now we will be secure or guaranteed 2 home playoff games if we happen to win next week against the Philadelphia Eagles. If we beat the Eagles, I think we face the Cowboys if they win, or the Rams because of the reseeding thing, we'd play the Cowboys. If all the division leaders won, we would face the Cowboys in the 2nd round, while the Rams would go on to face the Green Bay Packers. But the Bucs had 409 total yards of offense, 324 passing, 85 rushing, while the Panthers had 207 passing and 110 rushing, so 317 total yards of offense. Brady was phenomenal after that first quarter, 29-37 for 326 yards and 3 touchdowns. Really directing, after all the AB stuff going on, saying Brady needs help, he can't do it on his own. It was really good to see Brady have that chip on his shoulder and really go in and make sure that he dominated with the players that we have, just to prove to Antonio Brown, like, we didn't need you that much. Like, our entire season was not dependent on you being there. Blaine Gabbert came in at the end in the 4th quarter, 0 completions out of 2 attempts. Scotty Miller was our leading rusher, 2 rushes for 43 yards and a touchdown, one of them being at the end of the 4th quarter where it was like a end-around reverse that he took 33 yards. Good to see him get in there and get some meaningful snaps and make use of them, because we're definitely going to need him going forward, especially in the playoffs. Now that Cyril Grayson has a hamstring kind of issue and was out this game, who knows how long he will be out for. Good to see Scotty Miller still got that speed. I did not realize how fast he was. Usually when you see him on like the deep bombs, yeah, he's fast, but he had the ball in his end around. He just took off. Keyshawn Vaughn was our 2nd leading rusher, 10 rushes for 29 yards and a touchdown, and Le'Veon Bell had 3 for 14. On the receiving end, Gronkowski had 7 catches for 137 yards, giving him his 2 incentives, which was yardage, which got him $500,000, and receptions, which got him $500,000. And it was good to see Brady not want to stay on the sideline and tell Bruce that he's going in, got Gronk his incentive, and then left the game. And I think part of it was, obviously he cares about Gronk and he likes getting his players incentives, but also I think it was in spite of Antonio Brown, just to prove a point. Brady did have, out of his 3 touchdowns, his one was caught by Le'Veon Bell, and then Evans had 6 catches for 89 yards and 2 touchdowns. After Bell caught the touchdown before the end of the first half, I want to say it was, before the end of the first half, that he became the 92nd different player to catch a touchdown pass from Brady, which extends a record. Perriman had 5 catches for 44 yards. Tyler Johnson had 5 for 22, and nobody else had more than 20. So Brady really spread the ball around with who he had. I'm glad to see that he was starting to give the ball to Evans more. I feel like moving forward in the playoffs, Evans and Gronk are going to have to get their share of targets, 7, 8, or more targets a game. They're going to come down with the majority of them, and they're going to score. And we just have to take advantage of it. Evans can beat anybody, and we just didn't give him the ball enough. And now that AB's out or gone, and Chris Godwin is out, and now especially with Cyril Grayson, if he's not back, Brady's going to have to force some balls to Evans and Gronk, and I'm sure they're going to come down with it. I think I read a thing online saying when he is covered, Evans has caught 83 or 84% of his passes, so he's doing way better than the 50-50 ball. Defensively, we held Sam Darnold to 29 of 42 completions for 2 touchdowns, a pick, and a fumble. The running game, Hubbard had 9 rushes for 48 yards. Amir Abdullah had 7 for 26, and nobody else had over 20. On the receiving end, DJ Moore had 7 for 87. Abdullah had 9 for 56. And Robbie Anderson had 7 for 50 and a touchdown. And then Hubbard had 2 for 8 and a touchdown. Winfield had a sack and a fumble recovery, and the fumble was forced by Nacho. As you know, Nunez Roches forced that fumble on Darnold run pass option where he took it and just, I forgot who punched it out. But I think it was him. Nacho punched it out, and then Winfield recovered it. Anthony Nelson had a sack, and then Andrew Adams had a pick at the end of the game as well. A very dominant performance by the defense. After the Panthers really dominated us in the first quarter, they came in, scored on the first drive. They had a couple 4th downs. We stopped them on the goal line. So we definitely had some statements there. And I think now moving forward into the playoffs, we will have Levante David back, which he's much needed because Devin White has looked lost without Levante next to him. We're also should be getting back Leonard Fournette, hopefully this week as well. Definitely going to need him along with Rojo. I think Rojo will be back. I'm not sure if we have a full stable of running backs. Rojo, Vaughn, Le'Veon Bell, and Lenny. That would be very good for us as well. Hopefully Cyril Grayson is not out that long. And then we should be getting back Shaq Barrett, hopefully. He's on the COVID list. And then JPP. Also, I don't know how I forgot this. Mike Evans did extend his record of now 8 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons, which broke the record he set last year. So again, he's 2 seasons ahead of anybody else, which was Randy Moss. And also he's caught his 13th and 14th touchdowns. So not only did he match his franchise record he set last year, which was a career high, he passed it. So I think now he set the career record, the franchise record 3 times. I think his rookie season he had 12, last year he had 13, and then this year he had 14. So definitely breaking records there, being very efficient in doing so. Tom Brady now has the Bucs franchise leading touchdowns with 43 after he beat it last year with 40, and then he threw, I want to say 5,300 yards. I think it was like almost 140 yards behind Peyton Manning for the most ever yards in a season. So now he holds a lot of those records. He has 83 touchdowns in 2 seasons, which has put him above Josh Freeman for 2nd overall. And I think Jameis has the franchise leading at 121. So Brady only needs 38 more touchdowns next year. Obviously, we don't count the playoffs in that. 38 more touchdown passes next year, and he will overtake Jameis as the leader in franchise history for touchdowns. But yeah, very dominant performance. Moving in next week to the Philadelphia Eagles. They rested their starters last week. Starters hopefully will be a little bit rusty. They are coming in. They are very hot, but I'm not too worried about them. I think our run defense has been very vulnerable, and I think with Shaq Barrett, JPP coming back, and Levante David, it should shore up the rush defense. And once that is done, I think that we'll be all right. I'm not worried about Jalen Hurts beating us. We did beat them by, I want to say it was 6 points or maybe 7 points. 7 points earlier in the season at their house on a Thursday night game, I want to say it was, but now they're going to be at our house. We're still waiting on the schedule to come out for Wild Card Weekend. There's 2 games on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, and 1 on Monday night, and I'm really hoping, Brady brings views, and so does the NFC East, so I'm really hoping that they don't put us on Monday Night Football against the Eagles, because then we'll have a short week for the week after. But yeah, Bucs Nation, comment down below. 13-4, 2nd seed. We are officially broke our franchise record for most wins with 13. Yes, we needed a 17th game to do so, but our win percentage is the highest we've ever had, higher than our 12-4 season. So great performance, great season overall, considering all the injuries we've had and all the drama with Antonio Brown. The fact that we won 13 games and only lost 4 is definitely a very big accomplishment. And now that we're going to start getting healthier, especially on the defensive side, and some players on offense coming back for the first week of the playoffs. We should be able to be in line to make a run. So let's do it. Comment down below what you thought of the game and what you look for next week. Do you think we can beat Philly? And if so, how dominant do you think we'll look? But yeah, Bucs Nation, thank you for tuning in. And as always, let's go Bucs. We are 2nd seed in the playoffs. Green Bay has the bye. 1 win, 2 guaranteed home games. We win both of those. And we have a really clear shot at the Super Bowl. So let's go. Let's get it. And as always, I am out.
Let's go! You a Buccaneer fan, let me know.